In this video we're going to be talking about the most influential roller coasters ever, and these were of course very innovative roller coasters that showcased cutting edge technology at the time, and without many of these roller coasters the industry wouldn't have been the same. So I have now done my research and collected 15 of the most influential roller coasters ever, and let me know in the comments if we missed some important coasters. And all you have to do is sit back, relax and enjoy this video. And coming in as the first roller coaster on the list we got Switchback Railway at Coney Island, and Switchback was actually the first successful roller coaster, and this wooden roller coaster was actually the first roller coaster at Coney Island in Brooklyn, New York. And for just 5 cents, riders would climb a tower to board the bench-like car, and after that they were pushed off the top of the hill, and then the riders went down a few hills traveling 600 feet, also 183 meters. And once they reached the other tower, the vehicle was switched to a return track. That's why it's called Switchback Railway. The maximum speed on this wooden roller coaster was 6 miles per hour, and that is 9.7 kilometers per hour. It's very fun to see that these riders didn't even have restraints when they rode it. And the next coaster on the list is Jackrabbit at Kennywood, and this Woody was known as the first coaster with upstop wheels, and Jackrabbit opened in 1920, making it one of the oldest roller coasters in the world still in operation. And this wooden roller coaster in Kennywood was actually built with a brand new track design, and this design actually involved the use of wheels both under and over the track, and that actually allowed the designers to make the attraction's largest drop, and that is a 70-foot/21 meter drop, and this is actually known as the iconic double dip element on Jackrabbit. And these upstop wheels were really important for creating way more intense airtime moments. And the next coasters on the list are the Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland, and these coasters were known as the first tubular steel track coasters, and this never seen before steel track design on Matterhorn bobsleds in 1959 is actually what we still use today on modern steel roller coasters. And aerodynamics really showcased people what they could do with roller coasters, and the Matterhorn bobsleds are 2 intertwined steel roller coasters running through a fabricated mountain. The steel track was very shallow, and so was the roller coaster trains on this one. And now coming in as the next coasters on the list we got the Racer at Kings Island, and the Racer were actually 2 dueling wooden roller coasters, and these 2 dueling woodies were known as the first major commercial success in the industry. First of all, these woodies were designed by John C. Allen, who was well known to create roller coasters in the mid-20th century. The Racer is officially recognized as playing a vital role in the roller coaster renaissance in the 1970s, and these coasters were thrusted into the national spotlight after being featured in an episode of the popular TV sitcom The Brady Bunch back in 1973. And these dueling roller coasters really made America focus more on the industry. And coming in as the next coaster on the list we got Corkscrew at Knott's Berry Farm. This roller coaster was really known for making the first successful inversion, and this crazy never seen before design back in 1975 was actually created by aerodynamics yet again, and that's why us coaster enthusiasts call aerodynamics the pioneers of roller coasters. And Corkscrew at Knott's Berry Farm actually achieved 2 things of historical significance. Corkscrew was not only the first modern inverting roller coaster in the world, but it was also the first roller coaster to take riders upside down twice. And coming in as the next roller coaster we got Demon at Kings Island. This roller coaster was known for being the first launch roller coaster open to the public, and even though aerodynamics now had competitors such as Intamin and Schwarzkopf, they still made the first operating launch roller coaster. And this brand new first of its kind coaster model back in 1977 was known as the first launch shuttle coaster. Demon at Kings Island used an electric motor to launch the train. The ride experience mainly consists of a launch, a drop down into a vertical loop and then upwards again, and then at the end you had another launch that went backwards into a vertical loop and up again. Very simple. And now coming in as the next roller coaster on the list we got Space Mountain at Magic Kingdom. And following the huge success of the Matterhorn bobsleds, Disney really wanted to work with aero yet again, and then they created Space Mountain, an overall bigger and better version of the Matterhorn bobsleds. And these coasters were the first to use the computer block system. Space Mountain actually consists of 2 indoor track layouts. To increase the capacity of the ride, they invented the computer block systems, and this block zone technology made it so different trains could ride the same track at the same time. So when a train successfully passes through a block zone, another train can be sent out on the track. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list we got Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point. And back in 1989 Aerodynamics created the tallest and fastest roller coaster with Magnum XL 200, and this was the first full circuit roller coaster standing above 200 feet. And many people describe this roller coaster as the start of the coaster wars, because after the creation of this huge roller coaster every other park really wanted to make a record breaker. And for me, Magnum XL 200 still has one of the most enjoyable roller coaster layouts. This coaster really packs in strong ejector airtime. And coming in as the next coasters on the list we got Flight of Fear at Kings Island and Kings Dominion. And now a new manufacturer in the roller coaster industry called Premier Rides actually showcased the first electromagnetic launch system. And to create this launch system, Premier Rides used linear induction motors, also called LIM technology. And these 2 new cutting-edge roller coasters opened at Kings Island and Kings Dominion back in 1996. These 2 roller coasters are actually indoor roller coasters with many different inversions and track elements. And now coming in as the next roller coaster on the list we got Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great America. And now back in the late 80s a new manufacturer called B&M started to make roller coasters. They were known for creating very smooth and intense roller coasters. And now back in 1992, B&M were the first to create the inverted roller coaster where the train actually hangs under the track, and this brand new roller coaster design made way for a brand new roller coaster experience, of course. And Batman the ride at Six Flags Great America was a hit, so they instantly made many different clones of this roller coaster layout. And to this day, the B&M inverted coaster is one of the most successful coaster models in the world. And these inverted roller coasters by B&M really offers a very smooth and intense ride experience. And coming in as the next roller coaster on the list, we got Space Mountain at Disneyland Paris. And Disney yet again wanted to create a first of its kind roller coaster in their new park in Paris. And for their main roller coaster attractions, they have used the Dutch manufacturer called Vekoma. And Space Mountain at Disneyland Paris was actually the first inclined and full circuit launch coaster. Vekoma utilized an electric winch launch on this incline lift. After an awesome incline launch, Space Mountain really has an indoor roller coaster there with many different inversions and sharp elements. This roller coaster has many times been rethemed, but now it stands as Hyperspace Mountain. And now coming in as the next roller coaster on the list, we got Millennium Force at Cedar Point. And now back in the year 2000, Cedar Point yet again wanted to create a record-breaking roller coaster. This is where they called the Swiss manufacturer Intamin, who is well known for creating record-breaking roller coasters. And this is where they created this blue monstrosity called Millennium Force, which is the first roller coaster exceeding 300 feet. So to reduce time spent on the lift hill, Intamin actually created a cable lift hill. This cable lift could actually pull the train at a much higher speed than a chain lift. And since the year 2000, Millennium Force has actually many times won the best steel roller coaster in the world. But in present time, this ride experience is very polarizing among coaster enthusiasts. And now the next coaster on the list is Tower of Terror 2 at Dreamworld. And this huge attraction was known as the first coaster reaching 100 miles per hour. And this huge shuttle roller coaster was yet again made by the Swiss manufacturer Intamin. And this is where the Swiss manufacturer actually showcased a stronger version of the electromagnetic launch. This is called linear synchronous motors, also called the LSM launch. This huge shuttle roller coaster actually opened back in 1997. The ride experience was very punchy and very short. You had a huge launch through a tunnel and then you went up this huge vertical stall. Tower of Terror 2 was actually 377 foot high. The height on this coaster type has always been debatable because the coaster train doesn't reach the top. And now coming in as the next coaster on the list, we got Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point. And now it isn't really very surprising, but we got Cedar Point with yet again another record-breaking roller coaster. And Top Thrill Dragster was actually the first full-circuit roller coaster exceeding 400 foot. And Cedar Point yet again had called the Swiss manufacturer Intamin to make this record-breaking roller coaster. And this is also where Intamin utilized the hydraulic launch system. This hydraulic launch system really had a fast acceleration and a huge top speed. And unfortunately, the hydraulic launch isn't very reliable, but it really could make some crazy roller coasters. And now coming in as the last roller coaster on the list, we got New Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas. New Texas Giant to this day is known as the first RMC conversion of an old wooden roller coaster. And back in 2011, Rocky Mountain Construction really showcased what they could do. This is where they took the former structure of the old beat-down wooden roller coaster and created steel track above it. This is where the so-called RMC created a much better roller coaster with a very smooth track, and on top of that you have many airtime moments. And after New Texas Giant in 2011, RMC has really created many roller coasters around the world. They are now known for creating many world-class roller coasters with many bizarre and one-of-its-kind elements. And you can really see that RMC has been a huge influence on the other roller coaster manufacturers, creating more bizarre elements and ride experiences. And now we finally reached the end of this video. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know if I've missed some roller coasters. Let me know in the description, please. And after that, please give a like, subscription, or a bit of support. I don't even know. And at the end of the day, I'm always gonna say bye bye.